And that is right, people. A very rare Monday appearance from me. I'm, of course, still, your reigning, defending podcast, undisputed champion. I am excellence personified. I am the man himself, Ricky Coleman. This is a very rare Monday, but last one of the year, Reigning Rock podcast. So apologies, didn't do it last night. People's schedules couldn't be met, and I suffered a lot of back pain, so my back was killing me last night, so that's another reason it didn't happen. But we're here today. Like, share, all of that. Only 5 away from 400, so let's see if you guys can get it done by the end of this video, because it's the final one of the year. But I am never alone, and I said never alone. I come with the man himself, all about the money, all about the fabulous moolah. He is Marcus.
That's right. Ting ting, bling bling. It's always money over here. Good old Ted. It's always Ted over here.
That is right. The man himself with the cash, the man himself with the money. And I hope the IRS isn't after him, but here he is, Marcus. And how are you today?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Just chilling.
I hope you... Sorry.
You good?
I hope you paid your taxes, as IRS would say.
Yeah, that's not until a little bit later on this year. Not until a little bit later.
Very quick story, and it'll take like 5 seconds. I met our IRS at the wrestling convention I go to. I think it was last year or the year before. I mean, last year, whenever it was. And I went up to him and said, "I've not paid my taxes." He went, "He'll catch up to you." But yeah, it was great to meet him. But yes, it is the final Reigning Rock podcast of 2024 going into 2025. So like, share, all of that. Smash the bell to every single one of my notifications on. As we get, and we've got end of the year awards to come as well. We'll do that at the very end, as well as news. Big news coming to the podcast and to my channel. We'll do that at the end also. But let's get to first. As always, we kick off with this.
What's cooking at the table?
That is right. So obviously it's been Christmas, so I've not really been up to much. I did go live on Christmas Day and showed a few of my gifts off. So people are interested, go back and look. I have been to the gym, and this came today from Billy. Billy's appeared on the channel. He's on his way to Monday Night Raw tonight, but he did send this. So give me 1 second. So I saw a picture of Matt Hardy, not signed, but still cool. James Mitchell. A poster, 1,000 days acknowledge me, Roman Reigns poster. And I know you'll like this, but Reigns and Cody t-shirt.
It's a cool t-shirt.
So that's WrestleMania this year. So yeah, so that's now another t-shirt in my collection. I think I'm well on my way for one every day of the year. But what have you been up to? And also, have you got any big plans coming up in 2025?
So, like you, just been going to the gym. Just been relaxing, chilling. I got me a PS5 now, so been playing that as of late. For 2025, just keep doing what I'm doing, and just being better at doing what I'm doing.
Have you got 2K24 for the PS5?
I don't play wrestling games.
Ah, okay, that's all I play. Yeah. That's the only game I play a year. One game, that's it.
Listen,
what do you play?
Your whole life is wrestling, man. That's how you work.
Yes. So do you play basketball games then, or?
I do not actually. The only game I've been playing is NCAA. It's college football 25.
Are you into like UFC games or not those
Nope.
either? Okay. Do you like Grand Theft Auto or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, I got that on there, but I haven't been playing it.
I don't even do the missions. I just like mess around, like stealing cars and killing people.
You don't even play the game right.
I don't play the game. Like Triple H would want me to play it. But yeah, so other graphic. I've got an Xbox One, I think. The graphics are quite good. The graphics good on PS5.
Very good.
I know you don't play wrestling games, but for 2K24, they actually look like real people. So I suppose that's the point, isn't it? I suppose that's the same with any game you play on PS.
Yeah, the point is to try to make them look as realistic as possible.
I would still change the game, but that's another. It's changes I would make to the game to make it look more real, but that's another conversation for another day.
It's a video game.
So yes, I've got big plans, mainly for my channel and for the podcast, but we'll get to at the end for 2025. But I'll let into one big thing coming next year, and I'll say the rest later. TNA watch-alongs, so no longer AEW. Ugh. No.
Don't be a hater.
I'm not a hater. Well, I watched the pay-per-views. I'm not 100% a hater. Just
you're a hater. That's hating, regardless of how you put it. It's hating.
But next year, TNA, because they only do 4 a year, don't they? They're doing January, April, and I think the next one's July. So
I'll have to look at their pay-per-view schedule. But
Genesis is the 18th of January. Slammiversary is in April, and then I think it's whatever it is in July.
Victory Road.
Could be that. Could be Hard to Kill. Could be something else. But looking at the card, it looks like quite a good card. You've got Joe Hendry taking out Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth. Moose is in action.
I believe in Joe Hendry still.
Do you think he does? Do you think he does it this time?
I would hope so.
You've got Jordan Grace and somebody else. You got Jordan Grace in action, Moose in action. So yeah, it looks like quite a good card. I've watched TNA over the years. I've been to TNA 3 times live, but never really followed it. So I certainly want to get into it more next year. So yeah, TNA watch-alongs next year. Next up, we'll just quickly do this. I watched four.
They have 8. They have 8. Like they have 12, just like everybody else says.
12 pay-per-views, don't they?
Yeah. Hard to Kill, No Surrender, Sacrifice, Rebellion, Under Siege, Against All Odds, Slammiversary, Emergence, Victory Road, Bound for Glory, Turning Point, and Final Resolution.
I looked on Wikipedia and it said January and then the next one. So
no, I just looked at the same thing. So for next year, they're only doing 4. So you're right on that. Yeah.
Do you think that's better than doing 4 rather than 12 like WWE?
I think the plan for TNA is to keep building the product, build the brand. They might be going through some things internally as well. So it's better to keep 4. And, and this is, I think they're also trying to get a TV deal. So this might be all part of that action, that package.
I think 12 can be too much. Certainly when there's 2 a month, like when they do.
Yeah, it's oversaturating the product. It's oversaturating the product, and mind you, wrestling is already oversaturated as much as it is already.
Like when they did Backlash and then King, Queen of the Ring, and then they did Crown Jewel and Survivor Series, it's like, 3 or 4 weeks really isn't enough time to build a feud. It's just all throw it together.
Mm-hmm.
Less is more. I think 4 pay-per-views is good. I'll probably go the AEW route and say 6 a year. I think they're doing 6. I don't know.
Well, that's because AEW does TV specials.
apparently their next one's Revolution. I thought the next one was the Australian show, but there we are. So if the Australian show's just a random Dynamite, they're calling it Grand Slam. That's why they didn't sell out the stadiums. At least put on a pay-per-view. Anyway, we'll get to World's End shortly here, but it wasn't the best. It was okay, but it wasn't the best. But so let me get to this next. And I just realised the colour. I just seen the colour there. Doesn't matter. I'll try and change the colour in a minute. It doesn't really matter. I like to go the different colour scheme, but it is what it is. Of course. So yes, it is movie talk. So 4 movies I've seen. Claus Family 3. Okay. The first one was good. Second one was okay. Third one was eh. The new Mufasa Lion King. Ugh. I don't know if it was the copy I watched, because I've said it a million times before, I do not go to the cinema to watch a movie like The List of Rocks in it, or maybe Cena, maybe Batista, but any other random movie. So I don't know if it was the copy I watched it on, the link, because it was quite a bad link, or it was just a movie itself, but it wasn't brilliant. Fourth movie, Last Christmas. That was good. If you like your Christmas movies, that was good. And last night I watched Classified. That was also decent. So I know you don't watch movies, but did you catch any sport around Christmas? I know they did Boxing Day sport, didn't they, or something?
So this week over the time period I actually did watch a movie. I watched Home Alone 2, which is a classic Christmas movie, probably my favorite Christmas movie, to be fair. I also watched a documentary from Cultaholic about WCW. Pretty much, from where WCW was to then the death of WCW. They kind of almost went over it, kind of how like that one documentary from Vice went over it, where the big boys play. The death of WCW, they kind of talked about that in a way. It went into depth as Cultaholic Wrestling always does whenever they do like a long docu-series kind of thing. It went really into depth about pretty much what WCW did awesome, especially at a time period where WWE was a joke with all the different gimmicks and stuff.
Yeah, like TL Hopper and Doink the Clown and Mantar and
the thing is, they didn't allow Doink the Clown to really be himself. They needed him just to be Doink the Clown. If you want to watch a good Doink the Clown, watch the ECW version of Doink the Clown.
But like TL Hopper and Mantar and
I mean, yeah,
the Goon and just they weren't good gimmicks, were they?
What WCW did during that time period is absolutely changed the industry. I mean, turning someone like Hulk Hogan, who everybody thought was going to be just the forever babyface, into a heel was world changing. It changed the trajectory of WCW. WCW did a lot of risk taking, but it led to their downfall because they did too much risk taking. They had too much risk taking. They had too much of an open checkbook, and by the time AOL, Time Warner had their hands on it, they ain't want no more of it.
Sounds quite familiar to what's happening with another company that exists nowadays.
No, it don't, because AEW just signed a new deal. That's different. WCW, it was almost like a floating trash can. They had a good 2 to 3 year run. By the time they got to 1999, WWE done beat them too many times.
Yeah, they beat. Was it 82 or 83 weeks? So Eric Bischoff's podcast 83 weeks they beat Raw. So,
and it was they had a better product, but the problem was their product was old. It was getting stale. They had the same old superstars showing up. They had the same old dudes. They couldn't build new stars. It sounds like WWE now, to be honest with you, trying to rely on the past and not try to let their
Mhm.
newer stars flourish and do the thing. Like, I'm sorry,
As,
but I need The Rock to go the fuck away.
as great as it, I was just going to say, as great as on Raw it's going to be to see.
I
Well,
mean,
Cena's going to.
you'll see it, but yeah, Cena needs to be around to pass that torch because
Cena.
I don't think Cena properly passed the torch because he didn't retire. To me, passing the torch means you retired. You're done, right? Triple H passed the torch, right? Stone Cold passed the torch. I need The Rock to pass the fucking torch. I need Cena to pass the torch. These are
But
people I need to pass the torch.
that'll
Yo,
first
yo.
Raw. As great as it's going to be to see The Rock, Cena if he's there. Hogan is rumoured. If Hogan's there, great. Goldberg, I don't think he's there for the first Raw, but he's retiring. Yeah, at the end of this time next year, when Goldberg's done, Cena's done, The Rock probably done. He's going to be 56 next year and going to move a career and doesn't need WWE and all that. So you got Rock done, Goldberg done, Cena done. Who's left? They can't keep bringing back Hogan. Austin doesn't want to come back. I don't think Taker doesn't want to come back.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, if they're coming back, they shouldn't come. We shouldn't know. They shouldn't be an on-screen personality, right? If they're going to come back, let them be backstage talking to the boys and the girls. I don't want them showing up and being like, "Hey, I'm getting in the ring." It's like, sit your old ass down.
Well, I would imagine Hogan, and then I'm not saying he's going to be there. I'm just taking it from the ripped shirts logo. People are saying, "No, it's Hogan. He's going to be there," which wouldn't shock me if he is. They wanted to make it a big deal. He's a big name. I mean, I wouldn't imagine he's going to wrestle. It'd probably just be, "What you going to do, brother?" and that'll be it. But
oh no, he definitely got
again, he's relying on the past, though. Whatever he does.
I mean, it's a huge premiere. That's the I mean, you got to make it as big as possible. Their goal, and this could be definitely for a different segment, but I'm going to just say it now. WWE's goal is try to get the people try to incorporate a mix of nostalgia and the WWE fans, right? The nostalgia will bring back the casuals that have Netflix to watch. Meanwhile, the current product will have the current WWE audience. The problem is with them not being on cable after in the new year on January 6th when they premiere on Netflix, they kind of alienated themselves. Which, me personally, I hope it fails. But that's
a much smaller audience. They're just thinking money. But well, when we get to SmackDown, going to 3 hours, when they kind of discuss that, but yeah, they don't have to try as hard. You're not going to be flicking through the channels anymore, going, "Oh, that's WWE. I'll sit and watch." Maybe, yeah, right. Casual fan. If a casual fan watched a Raw now, they'd be totally lost and just think, "Oh, there's not been one good Raw." But apart from that, it's been pretty awful for the past 3 months. So, the only good thing is 2 hours much easier to watch, and that's the only good thing. Really?
That's really.
But if a casual fan watched now, they'd be like, "What's this?" and turn off. But they can't do that with Netflix. You need to have Netflix to watch it. So now WWE don't have to try as hard. So it could be even more. I don't think. Hopefully, it won't be worse than what it is now, but it could be.
I mean, it's keeping the same rating too. It's not getting raunchy or nothing. It's keeping the same rating.
Nick Khan said that's never going to happen. They've got the sponsor, they've got the children watching. For anybody that thought it was going to change the rating, they're thinking that. You mentioned Cultaholic. Yeah, the Cultaholic are great. I used their link to watch Saturday night's main event, and I presume SmackDown is going to be the same. Unlisted, it's the first SmackDown of next year is going to be on YouTube. So I presume unlisted, so I'll be using Cultaholic again. And the WCW documentary, did you mean the one was it The Rock and his wife produced, or
no? Yeah. That's the one they did for Vice. Not that one. Cultaholic just came up with this one, I think, last week or something.
And the Rock had to get himself in there, didn't he? The Rock wasn't even there in the WCW days, but he was. But then he knows his worth. He knows if he's on.
The thing was, he was around WWE, right? So more than likely, The Rock during that time period, he was watching the monitors in the back. You know what I mean? Because remember, Rocky Maivia debuted in what, 95? So he was in the back watching the NWO kill it, and he's like, "Why are we doing this childish crap?"
But The Rock knows his worth. He knows if he's on anything, it's going to get views. He knows that. So
But no one was watching the Vice special for The Rock. We weren't watching it for Dwayne Johnson. We was watching it because we want to relive nostalgia and know who the hell we blaming for the demise of WCW.
I didn't learn anything really new, and they just rehashed.
You ain't learned nothing new.
Not really. It wasn't
that means you need to rewatch it. Then you need either rewatch that.
This happened. Yeah, we knew it was.
You either need to rewatch that or watch the Cultaholic one, because you would learn a lot of what happened behind the scenes, especially for Ted Turner. You would learn a lot more about who the person Ted Turner was.
And going back to Halloween, Home Alone 2, if you've not seen the first one, I think the first one's... Both are good, but the first one, classic. Have you seen the first one?
Yeah, the first one's good, but the second one's way better.
And then they made 6 of them. Don't even bother watching the other 4.
I don't.
They've got worse. I think they progressively get worse and worse and worse. So... I think Macaulay Culkin was asked to do the 3 and 4, and he said, "No thanks, I'm out. I'm out.
You're too old."
Yeah, true. But also, I probably thought you can only do this story so many times.
True.
But before we get into some wrestling talk, I will play an ad because there's still time now and after the new year. Imagine there's been New Year sales. So support me, the golden one, the excellent one, Ricky Goldman, by going to this right here. So that is right. Protein Tees Goldman's 1. I'll say it again. Protein Tees Goldman's 1. On my socials on screen right now. So buy a t-shirt, but also like, subscribe, all of that. Just 5 away from 400. Let's see if we can get it done before the end of this episode. But let's hook up. Marcus has got his championship. I've got mine. Both are going to be on the line because it's time for this right here.
It is now time for wrestling.
That is right. Wrestling Roundup. Thank you, Sam. We'll hear from him later during the Golden Awards. But let me run through. As always, we start with AEW. I don't know if you watched this week's Dynamite and the last ever Rampage. I can't see it coming back. It was very much thrown together and got very much thrown together, very low ratings, and the only time they got a good rating was when Punk returned. So this week's Dynamite, heading into World's End, Will Ospreay over Brody King. He advanced. Ricochet, Darby Allin ending in a draw. Commander over Claudio Castagnoli. Commander, the resident AEW jobber, but got a win. Okada over Shelton Benjamin. Tony Storm knocks out Taya Valkyrie. And Daniel Garcia. Okay, there wasn't even at he was at World's End, but he was on the panel. Didn't even get a match. Just won the title at Full Gear and didn't get a match on the next pay-per-view. Couldn't even be put on the pre-show. Couldn't even do that. Just ugh. Anyway, he got beat by Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite. Bronze. Did you watch this week's Dynamite or no?
I don't think I did.
What are your thoughts about Garcia losing already?
Who did he lose to again?
Carl Fletcher. The guy that beat Osprey at Full Gear. Or you didn't watch Full Gear, did you? Okay. Fair enough. And the
Kyle
last...
Fletcher, one of Adam Cole's boys.
So that's Kyle. That's Kyle O'Reilly. There's too many Kyles.
I don't know who that is.
Kyle Fletcher was been friends with Will Ospreay for years and turned on him at the last one of the pay-per-views that led to a match. And anyway, the last ever Rampage, like I said, it all thrown together, got very low ratings. The only time it got good ratings when Punk returned. So I can never see it coming back. While SmackDown is going to be 3 hours, I just can't see it coming back. So, Chris Jericho over Anthony Bowens. Private Party, again, Private Party didn't have a match at World's End. Couldn't even be put on the pre-show. They were backstage watching a match, but they couldn't be put on the pre-show. They knocked off Leo Sparrow and Alec Price. Leo Sparrow sounds like Jack Sparrow's brother. Layla Gray lost to Thunder Rosa and Hook over Nick Wayne Bronze. Are you going to miss Rampage, or did you not even watch it in the first place?
The only time I remember watching Rampage is if I was in a bar somewhere and they had it on.
That was pretty much.
It comes on too late. Like, I've already watched SmackDown. I kind of don't want to watch this. Like,
why would anybody want?
If it came on like a Saturday, I would watch it in the afternoon.
And AEW is kind of geared to me. Someone that wants more wrestling. SmackDown 3 hours, no, make it 4. Make Raw 5 hours, but it has to be good. If it's gonna be 5, it's not never. Well, I hope it's not going to be 5 hours. That would be a long time. That'd be like a pay-per-view. But if it ever moves to 5 hours, it's got to be good. Why do I want to watch a 2 hour good, decent SmackDown and then Rampage that just matches thrown together with no real direction? It's just this person versus this person.
That's too much wrestling. It messes with the product. But yeah, I hear you.
It's AEW geared to someone like me that wants more, but I don't want more of AEW. So they've got the opposite effect from me anyway. But so let's get to the final Raw. The final Raw 2024 is tonight, isn't it? Anyway, so last week's Raw, your Christmas trees on the stage. Also, it was a Christmas episode. Drew McIntyre came on out. Sami Zayn interrupted him. Good promo by Sami Zayn. This led to a match later on that we'll get to. Drew attacked Sami. Jey Uso makes a save. So I'll get your thoughts on that in a second. And the first match of the night, which was Io Sky advancing to the semi-finals. I think she takes on Lyra. It's either Natalya or Lyra tonight. Don't ask me which. I think it's Dakota versus Natalya and Lyra versus Io.
No, Natty lost.
Okay, then. She did, yes. She lost in this match. She lost in this match, yes. So it's Dakota versus... Is it Zoe Stark? I think it might be.
It might be Zoe, yeah.
So I think Dakota...
Or it might be Dakota versus... It might be Dakota versus Zoe.
And Lyra
versus Io.
I think we get Dakota. I don't think you get Io versus Dakota. I think you get Dakota versus Lyra in the finals. And would like Dakota to win because Lyra is as boring as hell. Decent in the ring, but... So yes, in this match, I've actually written down in my notes... Io Sky over Alba Fire and Natalya. So of course, I think Natalya should have won. I would have liked to see go the entire way, but she didn't. So yeah, your thoughts on the opening of Raw and Io advancing?
I feel like low key, Jimmy coming out to save Sammy made Sammy look weak. Like, why do you need Jimmy to come out for you? You could fight that battle your damn self. This is me personally. EL beating Alba Fire? Yeah, Alba Fire.
Yes.
I don't be knowing who's who. Alba Fire and Natty makes a lot of sense. You know, right now I get the whole thing with Natty, but no, Natty, no, her time been. I think at some point in time, Natty is just gonna have to hang it up. But she's always a good hand. That's the one thing about Natalia. She's always a good hand. She's always in shape. So you know, it's gonna be it's gonna be a very rare time that she's gonna be like, I'm hanging up my boots.
I would have liked to have probably gone the entire way. She would have been, because it would have made sense. Owen was Owen was IC champion. Brett was IC champion. Bulldog was IC champion. Never won single.
No, wait. Natalia has gotten single gold before.
But the Intercontinental Championship would have made sense because her family's won it. So
big whoop the goddamn do.
Fair enough. You had Chad Gable go over Akira Tozawa. Okay, this did nothing for anybody. Damian Priest knocked off Dominic Mysterio by DQ. Judgment Day attacked. War Raiders made the save, leading me to a six-man tag match tonight. Priest and War Raiders versus 3 members of Judgment Day. Probably Dominic, JD, and Khalito, but I don't know. Wasn't paying too much attention. So yeah, what do you think about Gable winning and Priest winning by DQ?
So Gable winning prevents the inevitable between Gable and Otis, which I can't wait till that happens.
Well, tonight on Raw.
Good. Of course, I don't like the fact that Damian Priest beat future World Heavyweight Champion Dominic Mysterio, but the beatdown, I like that. The War Raiders teaming up with Damian, I think teaming up with Damian. And I think the 3-person from the Judgment Day is going to be Dom, JD, and Finn. I think that's going to be a good match as well.
Yeah, you've got Otis Gable tonight, semi-finals for the women's IC tournament, and 6-man. That's all it'll be.
Well, some promos in between.
Speaking of promos, you had Jackie Redmond did a sit-down interview with Seth Rollins, basically just hyping him versus Punk for the first Raw of 2025.
Boo.
Dexter Lumis beat... So another DQ finish for you, because it was The Miz losing by DQ against Dexter Lumis. Final Testament attacked. Wyatt's made the save. Okay, neither looked weak, but okay. What was your thoughts about that?
So the promo with Seth and CM Punk, they're always going to cut a good promo. But of course, I don't give a fuck about the match because I can't see it. So I hope it ends in a DQ finish.
I would imagine Punk wins, but okay.
I want a DQ finish just because I can't see it. As far as The Miz getting a DQL against Dexter Lumis, I mean, this low key, the Final Testament versus the Wyatt Six is actually a pretty good feud when you think about it. But it's also a 2-hour show, so they kind of speed through everything. So I like the feud. I like the feud so much that they even got the women involved in it, which is great. But once again, it's a 2-hour show, so they speed through the segments.
So imagine saving until it goes 3 hours. So, which you can see people complaining about. It rolls back to 3 hours because There's a portion of the audience that are never happy. People say 3 hours is too much, go back to 2. It did. And those same people said 2 hours is not enough.
Because you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. So Raw been doing 3 hours for years. I forgot when they started this crap.
Raw 1000, so 2012. So 12 years, yeah.
And that's when they was starting to do the whole Raw Super Show featuring SmackDown superstars, which took away the whole idea of them being 2 separate brands. And
Yeah.
trust me, as a person that loved the 2 brand era, and it truly felt like 2 brands. Like I remember arguing with people at school about which brand was better. Like legit arguing with people. Which, by the way, if your answer isn't SmackDown during that time period, you need to go to hell and reevaluate yourself. Because it was just a better show. Like that was during Triple H's Reign of Terror and all that crap. SmackDown was the better show overall, but that's when that era pretty much ended. It died right there, and Raw was a 3-hour show. SmackDown stayed 2 hours. SmackDown still stayed the better show, despite the fact that it was an hour behind. And WWE did everything in its power to not make SmackDown as appealing to watch as Raw. It still was the better show in my opinion, of course. But yeah, when you watch a 3-hour Raw, you're like, okay, everybody has the max amount of time to do this thing and that thing, whatever. Then you watch a 2-hour SmackDown, you're like, okay, this is normal. Now you're watching a 2-hour Raw, it don't work because the Raw roster is too big.
And it feels very rushed. It's just like speed. Like I said a few weeks ago, before a Survivor Series, when Reed doesn't have the best luck. So very quickly about it. So he was meant to face Rollins, I think, or meant to face. It might have been supposed to be in the chamber, and then his wife gave birth, and then I think he got beat by Rollins at Crown Jewel. Now he's injured. Don't have the best luck, but when Rollins rebeat Rollins on Raw, it was Tsunami Splash, 1, 2, 3, done. Like, ugh. Anyway, let's continue with last week's Raw. New Day came out. Kofi Kingston to his mother in the front row. I feel like they're just doing everything they can to get heat. It's just they turn them heel. They've got real no direction. It's just 2 weeks ago or last week, whenever it was, Xavier stole a camera, and then this week he's going about his mother traveling from Ghana, and just like they're trying to get heat. It's like, and in your main event, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre wins. Said it before, I say it again. Push him all the way to the title. He should be the guy. If it's not The Rock, which I don't think you give the title to The Rock. You give it to Drew. Drew takes the title off Cody. He's more believable. So yeah, Drew beat Sami, Bloodline attack. They beat up Sami and Jay, basically just to hype up next week when Solo takes on Reigns. It was no Christmas silliness. I know. Remember we used to have like. Ugh. I remember when Del Rio ran over Santa, and they had like these ridiculous matches, and the whole 2-hour or 3-hour Raw was all about Christmas and just trying to find a match to do with it. This Raw didn't have any, so I'm not going to complain at that. I'll say silver minus. So your thoughts on the New Day stuff, Drew over Sami, and your rating?
The New Day stuff is working. It's not them trying to get heat. That's just the New Day having heat. From when New Day did that promo against Big E, and how much the fans love Big E and how they love the New Day together, and the fact that Kofi and Woods blatantly broke that up on their own. Everything they do is going to get heat, right? Kofi's mom being there, right? That's supposed to be getting them cheers. Yet all the things that Kofi was saying in association got him boos. Got him so many boos that his mom was like, yeah, son, you messed up. I'm out of here, right? once again, it makes it awesome. It makes it cool, especially a group that was so beloved, like the New Day is, and the amount of heat that they have. It's great shit. Drew beating Sammy, I seen that coming. You know, Sammy's still kind of beat up from War Games.
Would you have Drew? Sorry.
No.
Would you have
Hell no. Hell
Drew
no.
not
He's on the wrong show. Drew is a Raw superstar.
He can easily go to.
Cody is a SmackDown superstar.
There's going to be a transfer window because he wants to boost the Raw roster for going to Netflix. So you could easily have Drew, or do a draft. Drew could easily go to SmackDown. And then you do.
I'm gonna tell you what's going to end up happening. They're going to do the thing that they used to do, that they always do each and every time. They're going to put the WWE Championship onto Raw, and they're going to put the World Heavyweight title onto SmackDown. Try to weaken SmackDown because SmackDown is going to be 3 hours. Versus Raw being the cash cow, being on fucking Dumbflix, and they're going to try to amp up the roster to try to beef it up and stuff, versus giving the fans a really good roster for SmackDown.
So if they move Cody to Raw, for my plan to work, Reigns has got to move to Raw. I would have Drew push. Do not stick him in the Rumble. He's not going to win it. I think Cena wins. But so I don't think Drew does it. Give him just a match at the Rumble. He wins out. Same with Chamber. Same with Mania. Then it leads to him and Reigns are going, and the winner goes for the title, and he has to stop Reigns going for the title, which he does. Drew goes on to beat Cody. I think he's the only a believable heel that could do it right now. The Rock could, but The Rock's not going to be seen again after Mania, so.
I don't know. I don't know what the plans is. I don't care what the plans are, but I truly do feel like if they do a draft, Cody's going to get drafted. They're going to exchange the champions. Cody's going to take the WWE title over to Raw. Gunther's going to bring his title over to SmackDown. And we're just going to roll from there.
And I suppose Cena will be doing both, so it doesn't matter. So
they're gonna do him like how they did Stone Cold. Like Stone Cold wasn't on a show; he was just a free agent that went wherever he wanted to go. So I would hope, right, that if Cena does have to pick a show, I hope he picks a show that he started off on.
SmackDown, yeah.
There you go. I will hope you knew that answer.
Yes, and I'd have him win the 17th title. See, if he beats Gunther have been chumming for nearly a year, so that's not I like Gunther. I think Gunther should, probably not 10 years, but a long title reign, a long title. Surpass the ICW title. Surpass Reigns. He should be the champion for the next 5 years.
That's lunacy. He doesn't have.
If he loses at Mania, that's nearly a year, so that's not too bad.
He doesn't have the storyline to beat Roman Reigns' record, right? So Roman Reigns has the record because a part of that is also the storyline, right? Gunther is not as entertaining as Roman is. Gunther isn't as entertaining as Cody is. He's a good ass wrestler. That's who he is, but his storylines have been meh on the entertainment scale. Mm-hmm. His most entertaining feud has been with Damian Priest. That's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I like Gunther, and he's just another guy he's the same as everyone else, but he's got a belt. And I like him a lot. So
he's just a really good professional wrestler. There's nothing wrong with him being a really good professional wrestler. It's just his promo skills are good, but once again, as with anything involving promos and somebody that's foreign, it don't work as good.
And I think he looks apart, dresses apart. He looks like a champion. It's just he feels like everyone else.
You need a storyline. You need a storyline to boost that title, boost that championship. Seth Rollins was good for that title because he could boost that title, right? Gunther is only the third champion. he has the. They got to find a way of building him up.
Oh yeah, Priest. Yeah, Priest beat Rollins. No, fourth, technically.
Oh, he's a fourth. Yep, because Drew.
Technically, yeah.
Drew,
Yeah.
no, that's real. Because Seth was the inaugural. Then Drew beat Seth. Damian beat Drew. Gunther beat Damian.
Poor Drew, but it was all part of a storyline. And anyway, your rating for last week's Raw.
Bronze plus.
So NXT, just a bit basic, filler NXT, I suppose. So again, Christmas and presents on the stage. It was Christmas. It was the Christmas. Christmas Eve edition. Stephanie Vicky here and knocks off, and I spelt it wrong. Doesn't matter. I know what it says. Cora Jade with another loss. She's had one since returning just after before Halloween Havoc. She's had one win. Lexus King is your new Heritage Cup champion. Fantastic way they did it. Charlie Dempsey lost by DQ, so it protects Charlie, but puts the cup onto Lexus, and Lexus doesn't feel like he should have won. Great way to do it. So yeah, your thoughts of Stephanie beating Cora and Lexus King going new Heritage Cup champion.
I'm gonna say what I always say about Cora. I don't get her. I don't get her gimmick. I don't get who she is. I don't understand who she's supposed to be. Her song don't match with her aesthetic. Just I'm cool with her losing because she don't match. And Vakir needs to keep gaining momentum because eventually Vakir is going to be the next women's NXT champion. I called that. Like you said, that was real interesting how Charlie Dempsey lost the Heritage Cup, and I get what Booker was trying to say. Like, yo, titles can't change it from a DQ, but this ain't no regular type of title. This is a different kind of championship, and the rules of it is different.
So yeah, cool. So like I said, it protects Charlie, but puts like I said, that's why I like it. I think NXT is the show of the week because everyone gets a storyline, everyone gets a push. Whoever that is, it can be. I don't know. Well, Eddie Thorpe's getting a bit of a push, but it can be Dion Lennox or it can be Trick Williams. Whoever, they get a push. You got your wish. Unholy Union are back on NXT. I don't know how long it's for, but they're now faced. They were heel on the main roster, but they're now faced because they went over Fatal Influencer, who are heel. So when they turned face, I don't know, but we was meant to forget they were heel on the main roster and lost every single week. Dion Lennox lost her chant to the Adonis. Okay. So your thoughts on these two, Unholy Union winning and a chant to the Adonis winning?
So the reason why Unholy Union is face is because of who they were facing. That and they're coming back to NXT, so it's kind of like a hero's welcome kind of thing. Like, oh, welcome back. Hey, welcome back. And also, like, who likes Fatal Influence? Nobody. And I didn't really care for the second match. I was just dozing off on that one. I was just like, this is the storyline behind it. I get it. Like, he's supposed to be like, Nikita Lyons supposed to be kind of like, hey, but then he's also into the Petrovich girl, and then there's another girl involved. It's just it's kind of like daytime trash TV.
It's a pretty weak storyline, but at least he's got one, I suppose.
Yeah.
In a Christmas chaos match, there was actually quite decent. Again, I don't really like Christmas stipulation matches, but this was decent. You had OTM, Hank and Tank, no quarter, the family, and no quarter catch crew. Your winners and going on to face Fraction, and I think they might take the titles, were OTM. So I think they might do it. And to close out NXT, out came Trick Williams, Obafemi did, Eddie Thorpe did, Ava did, Brawl. You're getting a triple threat on New Year's Evil. Oba is going to pin Eddie, takes the title, but will protect Trick. That's what I think happens. So silver rating. So yeah, your thoughts on OTM winning and the ending of NXT and the rating?
I'm still trying to figure out who the hell OTM is. I'm still trying to figure them out. Like I said, this tag division is very it's filled with a lot of teams I've never really heard of or dealt with. I know OTM. I know like Jada Parker is like supposed to be a part of that group. To me, she's like the leader of that group because she has a lot more going on than these two guys do. So that's my thoughts on that. I really don't know who they are for real. And that last segment with Trick, Oba, and Eddie, what's his name? Last name? Eddie
Thorpe.
Yeah, he's a non-factor in this. No one really cares about Eddie Thorpe. This is gonna be a crazy triple threat match because I the reason why I started watching NXT is because of Trick Williams. Like he's the reason why I started watching. But Opa has my attention.
So can you see, firstly, OTM taking the titles and Oba pinning Eddie to protect Trick?
Since I don't know who OTM really is, the
Okay,
answer is
fair enough.
no.
Okay.
But I do see Oba beating Trick.
Does he pin Trick or does he pin Eddie?
He pins Eddie. Pins Eddie. They're gonna knock Eddie around. They're gonna be knocking him around. And then Oba's gonna catch Trick or something, but Eddie's gonna be like laid out and it's gonna prompt Trick to get a rematch down the line.
And that's going to happen in Los Angeles, or it's the biggest NXT random NXT ever, isn't it? So, well, yeah, standing to lose a pay-per-view. Your rating for this last week's NXT?
I'm gonna give it a silver. It was solid.
Speed, very quickly. So it was meant to be Natalya versus Lena Vegas. Lena Vegas injured, so B-Fab filled in and quickly got beat, just like she did in the first round. I'll say a silver minus. SmackDown, so yeah, it was okay. It was a decent SmackDown. Anyway, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Bayley defeated Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. Very storytelling here. Tiffany in the match said she wants a title. Candice is there to stop her. So I think that's what's gonna that's the story there. That's what it's gonna come down to. So again, it builds that story of Tiffany one day cashing in. Don't like that, but yeah. And Braun Strowman over Austin Theory. Okay, your thoughts on both of those?
I like. So the story. So the main thing with the women's match was more so the storytelling. Like the story's going to get better and better, and eventually Tiff's going to become babyface. Eventually, so I do like that. What was the other match?
Braun beating Theory.
No, Braun beating Theory.
Yeah, exactly, just there. So we'll talk about it next week and for the next 6 months, but I bet WWE will go, oh, look at all this money. We'll keep it at 3. So he's starting next week, 3 hours of SmackDown. It has to, that's 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of NXT. So it's 8 hours a week of just TV. Not a pay-per-view. Not Speed. Speed is only for 5 minutes, but still. So that's 8 hours a week. Now that has to be a good 8. Now NXT is good, but even the rest of it has to be good. It can't just be, oh, it's a 3 hour Raw, 3 hour SmackDown, and that's it. It all has to be good. But there will be another Don't Know next week. You've got, this week, isn't it? It starts this week. Andrade versus Nakamura for the title, filler. And
what? No, stop right there. It's not filler. That matters.
If I'm a casual fan, which clearly I'm not, but I'm trying to put myself into a casual fan's shoes.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
But if I watch this week,
I can do it better than you could because I
I
don't watch everything.
if I watch this SmackDown and the SmackDown beforehand, I won't think, oh, SmackDown's going to 3 hours. Let me watch. I think, no, I'm done, probably. So I don't think cool. I like Andrade getting that title shot, but Nakamura Andrade doesn't say to me, "Oh, big 3 hours." And you've got Naomi, Nia Jax. Cool, Naomi's getting that title shot, but that's it. Yeah. So yeah, so your quick thoughts on SmackDown going 3 hours?
So you know what's funny? This is actually one of my wildest dreams. When I was a kid, I always hated the fact that Raw was always on the big end of everything, but SmackDown wasn't. And then when Raw went to 3 hours, SmackDown was only 2 hours. So actually, to me, especially since Raw is going to Netflix, which means Marcus don't watch Raw on Netflix. Ricky, for me, for y'all, it's 8 hours. For me, it's only 5 hours of wrestling, baby. That's only 5 hours of WWE for me. That's only 5 hours.
I do think they're very much limiting their audience because SmackDown's been on for 25 years and not once has anybody said, you know what SmackDown's missing? An extra hour.
Because
Never.
They're also going to expand the roster to fit that for that extra hour. That's one. Two, I think is USA needs a 3 hour needs wrestling for 3 hours. They need it. They want it. Why not use SmackDown for it? That's two. And three, once again, as I just said, it doesn't oversaturate the crowd that doesn't have Netflix.
True.
People that don't have Netflix, like I said, it's only 5 hours, dog. And if you want to talk about wrestling as a whole, Dynamite only has one show. Well, no, AEW is only going to have one show. That's only 2 hours long. Guess what? My 3 shows, my one AEW show, my 2 WWE shows only equals out to 7 hours. Meanwhile, for you, 3 WWE products equals 8 hours. That's tragic.
Fair, I get what you're saying, but how I see it, there's your audience. So that's the WB audience. We're all going to Netflix. It's 3 hours. SmackDown's 3 hours. Oh, there we go. Your audience is now quite small because.
Well, to be fair,
breaking that audience because no one asked for a 3 hour SmackDown, and then yes, going to Netflix, it just really makes the audience smaller.
To be fair, first of all, we're talking about a niche product. Wrestling as a whole is a niche, right? It's not something easily that anybody could get into. For me to explain wrestling to somebody, that means they got to understand daytime TV. They got to understand sports as a whole. They got to understand theater. For anybody to explain professional wrestling to anybody is already a hard task in itself. That's why, like, for the people that's watching this, for the people that are casuals that watch wrestling casually, because wrestling ain't easy. It's hard.
Just imagine trying to explain, for example, Undertaker and Kane are brothers. One's a dead man and one burnt down the funeral parlor. So and they came back after.
So remember, that's explaining theater, sports, and daytime TV.
5 minutes in, people were like, "What?" and just switch off.
You know how confusing wrestling must have been without the internet. So just imagine that, like now, like when we have a niche product like wrestling, people want more of it. Now, me being I'm not casual, but I'm also not a super fan like yourself. I'm in the middle. So for me, I could take it or leave it. I could take wrestling or I could leave it. I don't feel preempt to watch every single thing that comes on from wrestling, and I don't. Trust me, there are times when I miss SmackDowns for weeks. There's times when I miss Raw. Well, I'm about to miss Raw forever now, at least for 5 years. So that's great. So I won't be burnt out by wrestling, right? I won't be burnt out by wrestling. You might, but I won't be. I'll be fine because I'm able to watch wrestling more comfortably now that after today, the USA Network won't have Raw no more. They won't have that. I'll be fine. I'll be fine with my Tuesday and my Friday show, and a Wednesday show from a different company.
I do get burned. So Mania week, I'm like, oh. After Mania, it's like, oh. So you've got now a 3 hour. I'll be getting a 3 hour Raw, 2 hour NXT, 3 hour SmackDown, Stand and Deliver, the Hall of Fame, Mania 2 nights.
See, you're burnt out. Me, I'm only going to have 5 hours of WWE with an additional 2 hours from AEW, and that's still less than Raw, NXT, and SmackDown.
So the Hall of Fame, no, well, like, the 3 hour SmackDown Hall of Fame usually 2 hours. That's 5 hours. Anyway,
that's 5 hours for one program. It's crazy.
Well, it feels like 5 hours, even though it's still two things. Well, and most of the Hall of Fame this year was good, but usually it's again catered to the hardcore fans like me because it's just talking. But let's get on with this one. So you have Piper Niven in the ring. Chelsea Green, here she comes, talking about a US title win. Michin interrupts, attacks Piper. They're going to meet later down the line, Michin and Chelsea Green. I presume for the title again, I don't know. You have Street Profits quickly beat Los Garzas. Apparently they're the ones that attacked Street Profits a number of weeks ago. Okay, your thoughts on both of those?
All right, so hold on. Sorry. What was the 2 segments again?
Piper in the ring introducing Chelsea. Chelsea came out, spoke about a US title win. Michin interrupted, attacked Piper, and Profits over Los Garzas.
Los Garzas. Oh, okay.
Humberto and Angel.
Yep, Humberto and Angel. All right. I mean, Chelsea Green being the new US champ, that she's going to do the whole thing. You already know she's going to do the whole thing. It was entertaining from what I saw. Michin breaking it up. I mean, obviously, right? Because like that's the feud going into that. You know, they're rekindling their feud that they had earlier this year, which great. I'm thumbs up for that. And I mean, the Profits need something to do. That it's so sad because they're so entertaining, but they have nothing to do right now.
They're just there, aren't they? Just
Yeah, they're kind of like Bianca. If she's not in the title picture, she ain't doing nothing. But she has a title. They don't have a title. That sucks.
Yeah. You had Sami Zayn, so from Raw. So I think he's slowly moving to SmackDown. So when there's a draft or a transfer window, he's going to SmackDown, which would make sense for a certain somebody to take the title. But we'll get to that in a second here. What's made for the Rumble? So Sami Zayn over Carmelo. The bloodline, here they come to attack Sami. Sami has the worst luck being involved in this bloodline thing. He only gets attacked on Raw, on SmackDown. Kevin Owens came out. Nick Aldis did. Owens did. Not Owens, Cody. Did I say Owens? Oh, Kevin Owens came out. Nick Aldis did. Cody did. There we go. Cody's got a title, but wants a title that Owens has. Like, right, again, so suspension of disbelief. If I've got that title, I couldn't care less what belt that Owens got. Keep it. That's not my belt. I've got it over my shoulder. But despite that, we're getting at the Rumble, Cody, Owens, ladder match for both titles, which would make sense. That's how you take the title off Cody without him looking weak. But he probably wins.
Yay.
The whole Owens thing has been absolutely pointless for 3 months. That's been a waste of my life for 3 months, because why has he turned heel if he's not going to win? Hey, anyway, rating silver, I'll say. So your thoughts on Sami Zayn beating Carmelo by DQ, the whole Owens thing, the match at the Rumble, and rating?
Sammy beating Carmelo by DQ is what it is. He's in the middle of the bloodline thing. He's going to keep getting beat up and jumped on. That's just the nature of being involved with that goddamn feud. I know how much of a hater you are constantly about this. Nope, you are a hater. It's okay to say that.
I hate the booking. Cody himself, Cody Runnels, Cody Rhodes, whatever his real name is. the man himself I don't hate. It's the booking that I hate. He's just made to look second best. He's made to look like an afterthought. He's made to look stupid in this occasion. He wants a belt that's the belt.
See, and this is how I know you don't understand theater. So let me help you. Let me help you understand sports entertainment and theater real quick. So this is the equivalent of John Cena beating Rey Mysterio, but CM Punk coming back. This is almost the equivalent of that, right? I'm going to explain to you how. You have a piece of gold. So remember, let's think about WWE as a whole, right? Cody Rhodes is supposed to be the WWE champion, correct? He's the WWE champion. That means he's a representative for the brand of WWE and all WWE products, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He was gifted the Winged Eagle title for Saturday night's main event, right? He was gifted that as like a way that this is the title that he's defending, but this is also symbolic because during the time period that Dusty Rhodes was in the WWF, that was the title. That Gold Eagle was the title. So technically, that's the title that his dad had never touched. His dad never touched that title. So the fact that Cody's touching it is, it means a lot to him. But also, it means a lot because it's a WWE product. Remember how Kevin Owens acted after Saturday night's main event when Triple H confronted him about it, right? He's pushing the CEO. He's pushing around his boss, right? Cody is supposed to be the leader of WWE. That means he's supposed to stand up for the boss when the boss can't, isn't supposed to be doing that. It's supposed to enthrall you to be like, nah, this can't go down like this. You can't fuck up the brand. This is what we doing because I'm not settling for you being an ass and having this title that my father never touched, that I touched, that is a WWE product being wasted on a piece of person like you. So I'm going to beat you just so you can stop saying that you are also a WWE champion. The hell you're not. It's like I said, it's almost the same thing as John Cena challenging Rey Mysterio that one night when Rey Mysterio won that one night tournament. He won the WWE championship, but then Cena beat Rey, but then CM Punk showed up. It was like, who the world champion? And it's like, both of y'all? And it's like, no, both of y'all can't be WWE champions. It has to be one person. So this is one of those moments of theater, right? That you might think is silly, but this is theater. This isn't real. You always like to say that. But you have to remember that wrestling is a mix of sports, combat sports, and theater, as well as daytime TV. But in this occasion, we're not talking about daytime TV. Actually, we could be in a different sense of the word, in a different sense. But this is why that's important. So I think the ladder match at the Royal Rumble is going to be a good ladder match. I think it's going to be a good match.
I get why they're keeping the title on TV. It's all about this. But storyline-wise, not so much. But do you see Owens beating Cody? Because that's you can beat him without him getting pinned.
Absolutely not. But here's the other thing, though, right? And you said it. You don't like the fact that you said, what was the point of Owens becoming a heel if he's not going to win? So I don't know if you know this word. It's a very basic word. It's called a risk. It's called taking a risk, right? We already know how WWE books things. They don't like babyface versus babyface. They love heel versus babyface. The only way Kevin Owens was really going to get was really going to be look like a good opponent for Cody is if he turned heel. That's the only way that he was really going to look good in the terms of like, oh, I want to challenge Cody. Remember, Cody told Owens like, yo, when Owens was still a babyface, like, hey, I want you to face for the title, right? And they had a match, but it wasn't as good as their current matches have been. Because now Kevin Owens is a heel. He gets to do more heelish things. He gets to kind of really be himself. That's what makes that's what makes a better match. Like, yeah, Kevin Owens and Cody can do a good match as both of them being faces, but it's better if they're both heels. It's better work. is better match wise. So sometimes you have to take a risk. Sometimes that risk is turning heel when you might not want to. Sometimes it's turning heel knowing that, hey, I might not win it. It's all part of, I mean, first of all, in real life, we all take risks sometimes to do stuff. But also, just in general, like, you kind of want to be the best. And being the best in the WWE means being the WWE champion.
So after all that, your rating for SmackDown?
It was a bronze, though. It was bronze.
And very quickly, the last ever Level Up. So I don't know what they're going to do with these people, because Level Up was like the extra hour of NXT. Those people that didn't get a push on NXT at least got a match on Level Up. But 2 matches quickly. Carly Bright, Kendall Gray, Layla Diggs over Laney Reid, Wendy Cho, and Kelly Armstrong. Yes, Laney Reid, so you're losing, and Dante Chen won a gauntlet match against Kale Dixon, Keanu Carver, and somebody else. Harlem Lewis, that was it. I'll say, again, I don't like the getting rid of it, but it probably now didn't have the best views, so I'll say a silver minus. Very quickly, World's End. 90,000 matches to get through, not really. There wasn't actually that many. For an AEW pay-per-view, it was actually quite a decent card and not overloaded. So on the pre-show, 0 hour, Tony Storm over Layla Gray. Layla Gray isn't ready for the big time. She looked so amateurish. It was just, there. The crowd was absolutely dead. Just, I know it was the beginning of the night, but they were just, crickets. Jeff Jarrett, who looks like, I know he's old, he's 57, but he looks like he's 80. Bobby QT Marshall and Leo Rush, Action Andretti, Lance Archer and Brian Cage knocked off the Outrunners and Top Flight. Anything to add there or no?
The fact that Double J is still wrestling is crazy. It's still beating people.
57.
It's still beating people.
Yeah, when he hit his finish, it was like, I don't know, oh, there's the mat, and he hit it like that. Nowhere near the mat, it was just like...
Listen, shout out to the King of the Mountain.
On to the main show. We kicked off with Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. Good match to kick off the night. Very storytelling. Kyle Fletcher busting open Ospreay, weakening him for later on. I would have had Kyle win, but fair enough. Will did it. Oh, then you had Ricochet, Okada advanced. Swerve Strickland came out. so insulting. I don't know who to shoot or not. I don't know, but so insulting. It's mentioned in an interview. Ricochet said if it wasn't for Ricochet, AEW wouldn't exist. He'd been there. He debuted in August, September, October, November. 5 months he'd been there. Prince Nana was handing out toilet paper. So insulting, and said, and Swerve was saying, after 1, 2, 3, we're going to throw the paper and wish Ricochet a Happy New Year. And he just littered the ring, and it was all over Ricochet, like, basically calling him shit. So insulting, but again, I don't know if that was a shoot or not, but it looked like it could have been one. I don't know the order, but I'll just go through them. MJF retained, so he's held that ring for 6 years. I thought Adam Cole was going to take it. I think everybody thought he was going to take it, but MJF holding onto the diamond ring for 6 years. Talk about Reigns' title reign. I think MJF just made it look like nothing. Obviously, he's not a world championship and he's not defending it all the time. He defends it yearly, but yeah, 6 years. So your thoughts on Okada advancing, Ospreay advancing, and MJF still after 6 years, still the diamond ring holder.
Swerve is probably one of the best promos in AEW. Just good promo guy. I don't really have nothing to say about Okada.
An MJF.
I don't even understand the whole thing with the ring anyway. So
No, I don't really, but at least I'm trying to make it something. Plus, it's their version of the Heritage Cup, I suppose.
I guess so.
You had Mariah May retain against Thunder Rosa. Wasn't too hardcore crazy, and like there's gonna be really the only hardcore match on the show, so I like that. Good finish, like a DDT through a table. She quickly pinned Thunder to retain. The other women's match was good. Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné. Some people call it the greatest women's match ever. I've seen way better in WWE, but there you go. Trish Stratus, Lita. Many names come to mind, but Sasha Banks in WWE probably put on better matches than Mercedes Moné in AEW, if that makes sense. Same person, different gimmick. She couldn't put away Chris Statlander, so she's going to just tie her up like a pretzel and just pin, like, nader, be pinned. Takeshita beat Powerhouse Hobbs. This was okay. Any thoughts on what I've said so far with Takeshita? Mercedes retaining and Mariah May retaining.
No.
Okay. Osprey Okada in the finals. Your winner and still Continental Champion, Okada. And then your main event, Fatal 4-Way, Orange Cassidy, Hangman Page, and Jay White and Moxley. Well, Moxley's got his own kind of not bloodline. They're calling them the Death Riders or Raiders, whatever they're called. Space Raiders.
It's Death Riders.
Space Raiders. Have you, do they serve those in America? Space Raiders crisps? No.
No.
Okay. They're like alien snacks. Well, okay, the game Space Raiders. Anyway, Death Riders then, whatever they're called. I don't know, don't care. So yeah, Okada retained, Moxley retained. Any thoughts on that or no?
I mean, listen, Moxley is the AEW's guy. They're going forever, keep him around and put the title on him until they feel like someone worthy came around.
And he took quite a vicious bump. They did a triple power bomb. I think it was Jay White. No, it was the other three. Did a triple power bomb, and his head hit the monitor and just got busted open. But on those three, then you had the Death Riders, Space Raiders.
Death Riders.
Them beat down everybody else in the ring. You had the return of FTR and then the Hall of Famer, Adam Copeland or Edge. Edge is back. Looks like he's going after the title. Whether he wins it, I don't know. But there we are. Yeah. So rating for, before I get your thoughts on Edge returning, rating for, I'll say a silver for World's End. So any thoughts about FTR and Edge coming back?
I didn't know they were out on injury.
Edge broke his leg, so to be back after 7 months is good. At his age, definitely.
Well, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't even know that they was hurt.
I didn't know FTR were hurt, but Edge broke his leg in a steel cage match against Malachi Black. Came from the top and just snapped his leg.
It almost sounds like a Sid Vicious thing.
It wasn't that bad, but you could tell he'd done something, and then it got revealed later he'd broken it. So to be back after 7 months, that's good.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Credit to him and his body.
And his age, he's not young. He's in his 40s, right. Isn't he? Late 40s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play one more ad. We'll do a bit of. There's only one news story. Then we'll get to a bit of changes coming up on here, and then we'll end with end of year awards. So one final lad to go, and that is right here. Take a listen and look at this.
To never miss a second, never miss an upload, never miss anything I do, and never miss when I go live doing watch parties and my brand new podcast live Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. The Raining Rock Podcast. Add me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pete. Whilst there, search on Facebook WWA World Wrestling Alliance. Follow me on X at Ricky Goldmans. Head over to Pro Wrestling Tees and search Goldmans1 and head over to my YouTube channel. Search, like, and subscribe to the People's Wrestling Channel. That once again, the People's Wrestling Channel.
That is right. Like, subscribe. Got all my socials. Follow me, all of that. One news story, like I've said, so let's get to that. Let's get into the People's Studio, into the new studio, because it is time for this right here. That is right. News and headlines. The only real news story is Rampage cancelled. Like I said, probably never to come back. I'm not going to miss it. Any thoughts on Rampage being cancelled?
I think it's better for AEW to have it canceled because then it saves them money and it's just better for them to have one show. Doesn't oversaturate the product, which they made a better move than what WCW did.
Was it Thunder that they had? Was their second show was Thunder?
Yep. The people of the Turner Networks wanted Thunder, but Eric Bischoff was like, I don't want Thunder. They was like, well, you got it.
Did you watch Thunder back in the day? Was it any good?
I did actually. Whenever I was at my dad's house in the summertime, because all of WCW's programming except one show came on cable TV, and I didn't have cable at the time. So I was watching Thunder only during the summertime. At my dad's house, and Thunder was actually pretty good. Like I'm a big fan of mid card acts and stuff. So especially back in the Attitude Era, where there was a lot of mid carders that could have been pushed up, but due to different people politicking and stuff, they never went up to that level. But it was a home where if you wanted more Lucha Libre action, you get it. So it was a good show, but I could also see why people like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan barely wanted to show up on there because they were promised a certain amount of days, and doing Thunder would go over those amount of days. So
Thunder was basically like Rampage is or was.
Thunder was the answer. No. Actually, no. SmackDown was the answer to Thunder. Thunder, yeah, I guess you could say in this sense, Thunder was Rampage. But not as many people watched Thunder as in comparison to Nitro. Just like how people are watching Dynamite and not watching Rampage.
Fair enough. And speaking in news, like I said, very quickly I'll go through my news. So, I said already, TNA Watch Along's coming to my channel. With the podcast, predictions are going to move over to it. So I'll be doing predictions next year going forward on the podcast. Rating system is going to change. So this year I've been doing bronze to gold. Next year will be jobber to main event. So jobber, opening match, mid-card, main event. Make it more wrestling, and I come up with a different rating system every year. So that's the one for next year. If I watch, and it's a very big if, I will look at the Revolution card. If I watch them, I'll do match card reactions. I'm going to do a lot more shorts. I've not done many over the years, so a lot more shorts and match card reactions. And for the watch alongs unboxing. I want to move across to unboxing, and so unboxings, WrestleCrate, and if I get enough people, there will be the return of the It Doesn't Matter What We Call This quiz. That will return about an hour or so before pay-per-views. That's my plan. So that very quickly again, TNA watch-alongs, match short reactions for AEW, different rating system, jobber to main event. And I forgot already. Prediction moves we'll move to the podcast here. Unboxings, WrestleCrate unboxing for the watch-alongs, and quiz if I can get enough people involved. So would you be interested in a quiz if you're available?
We'll see if I'm available, kind of thing.
So the first one will come. I don't know TNA enough to do a quiz, but the first one will come Saturday night's main event, January 25th. So, and then a week later for the Rumble. But we are very quickly approaching the end of the year, and it is time for this right here. That is right. Give me 1 second to put up the banner properly. Because it's a Golden Wrestling Award, so 10 nominees to go over. I will go over the first one just because I didn't get everybody to announce this. And so, match of the, Rising Star of the Year. Sorry, Rising Star of the Year. I didn't get one to announce this, so we've got very quickly the choices are Bron Breakker, Lara Valkyria, Trick Williams, Kyle Fletcher, JD McDonough, Mariah May, Obafemi, and Fallon Henley. All think of a good year. Bron, you can say Bron's the breakout star, two-time Intercontinental champion, and won the tag titles in NXT. Lyra's had a decent year. Trick, two-time
Two-time NXT winner.
Two-time NXT tag team champion. No, two-time NXT champion, sorry. Kyle Fletcher beat Will Ospreay, so I suppose there's that. JD won the tag team titles. Mariah May won the title at All In. Not been much done with it since, but yes. Fallon Henley won the women's North American, and Obafemi has had a great year. And your winner is. Give me a second. Your winner is. Out of all those, your winner is. Give me a second here. 1 second. Your winner is. I'll find it. There we are, right there. Obafemi winning Rising Star of the Year. Most people went with Braun. Most people went with Oba. Some people, one person said Braun. A couple of people said Braun. So it was one person said Trick. It was mainly Obafemi. One person said JD. Okay. But yeah, Obafemi, Rising Star of the Year. Like I said, he's had a great year. So your thoughts on Obafemi being Rising Star of the Year?
That's who I also voted for. I like Oba compared to everybody else. I mean, Trick was a very close second. I mean, the dude won the NXT Championship twice. But Oba just got that it factor about him that it screams out that he's going to be the next NXT champion. So I think he really came out this year.
I will go to next, and we've got an announcement. Someone's going to announce this for me. We'll go to OMG Moment of the Year, announced by this person right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mad King, the Final Boss, Trey Marquise, also known as Byron Hinton, giving you the nominees for the Golden Prediction League's Oh My God, OMG Moment of the Year. The nominees are The Rock turns heel, Cody Rhodes wins the title at WrestleMania, the return of Roman Reigns, the Darby Allin glass spot, the Hangman Adam Page needle spot in the cage against Swerve Strickland, Solo Sikoa turns on Roman Reigns and forms a new bloodline. And the return of The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And the winner is...
Thank you, Byron, for that. So, yes, very quick list. So, yes, I'll go through the list I've written. Cody Rhodes wins the title Mania. I personally wasn't shocked. I thought he was going to do it. It was a little bit of me. I thought, okay, they're still going to keep the title on Reigns. But when he won the title, I wasn't like overly shocked. Rock turning heel, I think, was done very, very well. Reigns returning at SummerSlam was a little bit predicted. I think people thought he was coming back, but still a good return. Darby Allin's glass spot wasn't, it was OMG, but not for the right reasons. It was like, ugh. It took away from the match. Hangman's needle spot the same, wasn't OMG for the right reasons. Solo turning on Reigns and Taker's return again. So one person went for Solo turning, one person went for the what's he called? Darby Allin thing. But your winner for OMG Moments of the Year, and I think you went for Cody as well. I think you went for Cody and a few other people. So it was a tie, but just edging it and just winning it was the final boss, The Rock, turning heel and acknowledging Roman Reigns. I think that was why people were probably went for it. The Rock, I think it was done so well and just like wouldn't like the acknowledging Reigns, and yeah, it was done so well. So yeah, your thoughts on Rock winning OMG Moment of the Year?
To be fair, the needle spot was more shocking than the Rock turning heel.
Not in a good way. It was like, oh,
Still shocking. The Rock turning heel, it just made him look like a candy ass, at least to me.
So I will. No, I'm going to get on. So the next one is Show of the Year. Only 4 of them. So I'm going to another person to announce this. So let's quickly get this done for Show of the Year. Oh no, not Matchador. Show of the Year.
The nominees are for the Golden Awards are NXT, Dynamite, Raw, and SmackDown.
Thank you, Billy, for that. Yeah, that's the only 4. Dynamite's been, that's probably the least one. Raw lately has been, SmackDown, decent. For me, NXT, one person went Dynamite. Two people went NXT, so I love that NXT is getting some love. But your winner for Show of the Year, what most people went for is this one right here. It is Friday Night SmackDown Show of the Year. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, of course, Smacky D's. It's the best show. Who doesn't know this? Who doesn't know that the Smacky of the D's is the best show in all wrestling?
Keeping with Show of the Year, I'm going to do Pay-Per-View of the Year. I'm going to do this because, well, my highlights for me were Bad Blood and Mania. One person went Backlash, but I think that was more the crowd rather than the show itself. One person went Survivor Series War Games. Go pay-per-view. One would say pay-per-view of the year. Yeah, that's it, really. So for some show of the year, pay-per-view of the year, it was WrestleMania 40 for show of the year. Any thoughts?
I mean, it's WrestleMania. It's the supercard of supercards. That makes 100% sense. I also voted for WrestleMania because one, WrestleMania was in the greatest city of them all, my home city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Two, though I didn't see WrestleMania live, when you watch WrestleMania, it made you feel. And as I tell people all the time, as I say, the OMG moment of the year definitely didn't go to the right thing, my opinion only. But that when he won, it made you feel. And that was a great way of capping off an amazing WrestleMania.
Okay, match of the year again. I will announce this just because I didn't really give people a list, but again, standouts for me: the Hell in a Cell match, Punk versus Drew, The Rock and Reigns versus Rollins and Cody at Mania, Men's War Games. That's a standout for me. And Sting and Darby Allin versus Young Bucks. Even though the glass spot took away from the match itself was good. One person actually went for that. Another person went for the Rock tag match. A few people, including you, went for Reigns, Cody. So match of the year is somewhere here, and it is the Punk versus Drew match. I think definitely for me, match of the year. I know you didn't watch it live, but it was a really good match. They killed each other, and it ended the feud the way it should have been ended. So yeah, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell, match of the year. Your thoughts on that?
I ain't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion.
Fair enough. We'll go to faction of the year next, and again we've got a person to announce it, so let's get that done right now.
Hello, Jim Bailey here from Bolton FM. This is Wrestling and Bolton Town Wrestling. I hope you have all had a great Christmas, you're looking forward to a good New Year, and you're all enjoying the Golden Awards. Here are the nominations for Faction of the Year: The Bloodline, The Judgment Day, The Don Callis Family, The LWO, The Wyatt Six, The Family, The Final Testament, and Legado del Fantasma. Have a cracking night. I hope you're enjoying the show. See you next year.
And a big thank you to Jim there. He has appeared on the channel for an interview. So quickly running through those. Final Testament, they've had an okay year. Legado, I just threw those in there. They haven't had a good year at all. Don Callis Family, Will Ospreay was in the family, so he's had a decent year. Takeshita's in the family now. He's had a good year. Wyatt Six, I like the entrance, but as far as the faction goes, they're not the best. LWO, no. I just threw them in there. The family, so Tony D'Angelo's family, have had a decent year. So the Bloodline or the Judgment Day, Solo's Bloodline. I can't say they've had the best year. They've had an okay one. And Judgment Day, for me, that was my choice because Liv was at the time. Liv was champion and JD and Balor was champion, so they looked the strongest. But some people went. I think one person went very quickly to the ONG moment. One person did go the Hangman Page thing, so I don't want to mention that. But the faction of the year, one person went Chase U, so no, that tag team. I'm jumping ahead here. So it was between two, Judgment Day and Bloodline, but all the votes went to one faction, and that faction was the Bloodline. So Solo Sakai's Bloodline. I personally went for the Judgment Day. I think they have had a much better year, much better 2024, but the votes speak for themselves and the Bloodline win. Anything to add?
Yeah, the wrong faction won. The Judgment Day had a way better year both in the Damian Priest Rhea Ripley Judgment Day, as well as the Liv Morgan Finn Balor led faction. They just had an overall better year. The Bloodline felt secondary. It felt weak. But once again, that's not how voting works. And we have to just move on from that.
That is right, and I forgot to put up this, and I'll put it up now just for the final four here, and that is just a background just to make it look more impressive when I play the videos, which I'm going to play one now. There we are. So for female tag team of the year, it is over to another person that's been on the channel, another person that's been interviewed, Marquise Quidel. It is your... Oh, no. No, it's not. It's Sam. There we go, Sam.
It's time to announce this year's Female Superstar of the Year. The nominees.
It's your boy coming at you with the nominees for the 2024 Female Tag Team of the Year. And your choices are as follows. You got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. You got Damage Control. You got Metaphor. You got the Unholy Union. You got Piper Niven and Chelsea Green and the Party Girls. So who your pick for Female Tag Team of 2024? Vote now.
It was Alex, not someone else. So it was Alex, not Marquise Quidel will come in here and will come on in. Well, another video, be a video from him in seconds, and I think the police were after Alex there. Well, how dare you do this video? Anyway, quickly, Party Girls. They didn't win the titles this year. That was last year. So I've just run those in. Damage Control have had a decent year. Unholy Union, where they won the titles in Scotland. Metaphor have had a good year. Piper and Chelsea, the same. Obviously, Bianca and Jade winning the titles twice. Did they? I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, it was mainly people going for the same tag team, which were, I think everybody went for these, and it was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill winning Female Tag Team of the Year. Your thoughts?
Not surprised. They're the reigning women tag team champions. When they became a team, everybody absolutely fell in love with them, and it just makes sense.
Well, Bianca and Naomi are the current champions, but yeah. So male tag team. Give me 1 second. Let me do that again. And so male tag team. There we are.
It is out of modern day Michelangelo, Marquise Quidel, and this is the Golden Wrestling Awards Tag Team of the Year nominations. Tag Team of the Year that's nominated this year is Fraxium, Chase U, DIY, the Young Bucks, the Street Profits, and A-Town Down Under. Congrats to artists nominated, and good luck to the winner.
That is right. Thank you, Marquise, for that. So, Street Profits, like we said, discussed earlier, haven't had the best year. DIY, 2-time tag team champions. Young Bucks only just lost the titles to Private Party. Chase U won the titles. A-Town Down Under won the titles at Mania, and then nothing since. And Axiom and Fraser, one person went Chase U, one person went the Young Bucks. That's it. That's most went for this. And your tag team of the year are... I've gone too far. Your tag team of the year... Nathan Fraser in Axiom, Fraxium as they're now called, But yeah, I think they've killed it. I think they deserve that. Yeah, your thoughts?
Shocking. I'm actually really shocked by that. I'm surprised that people didn't pick. I mean, my pick was DIY, just because they won. Just because they won the title twice. Not to mention they beat a tag team that a lot of people thought they weren't going to beat, which was the Bloodline, and then they went on to beat the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes, they were on the list. No, they weren't on the list. Someone went for those, and they weren't even on the list. So I don't know how they did that when they weren't even on the list. They just made it. They just made that up. They went for a tag team that wasn't even there. But give me 1 second. I'm just trying to save. There we are. Let me save that just for the final thing. So yeah, you went for DIY, didn't you? Yeah.
Yep.
They've had a good year. They, like I said, won the titles twice. So while that video's uploading, next will be Woman Superstar of the Year, and that it is over to Sam. This time it is. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. Let me put the background on. So many pictures. There we are. And Female Superstar of the Year, Sam will announce them.
It's time to announce this year's Female Superstar of the Year. The nominees are the following: Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Toni Storm, Nia Jax, Bailey, Io Sky, and Jade Cargill.
That is right. He always does a fantastic job. So, Nia won the title. Won Queen of the Ring, won the title at SummerSlam. Jade Cargill has had a good year. Io Sky. Oh, she lost at Mania, didn't she? She still had a nice, decent year. Mariah May won the title in London. Roxanne has been champion nearly a year. She won the title this year, Stand and Deliver. Bailey won the Rumble, won the title. Toni Storm has had a good year. And Liv probably had the best year, won the title off Becky in Saudi, and then beat Nia Jax in Saudi. But two people went for Nia, which was shocking. That's it, really. It was a tie between two people, but your winner here is, and I pressed the wrong thing. So the winner is, and it was a tie, like I've said, between Toni Storm and the person that won, and it was. I wanted to find a picture, I can't. There we are. So Roxanne Perez, Female Superstar of the Year. It was a close tie till one person edged it. Roxanne Perez, your Female Superstar of the Year. Your thoughts?
Shocked by that too. I had Liv. I felt like Liv had a way better year. Had an incredible year. I would even say timeless Toni Storm, not regular Toni Storm. Timeless Toni Storm had a better year than Roxanne Perez, but that's also, once again, my opinion.
I think Roxanne is very, very improved. Her promos just get better and better. I said nearly champion for a year, so. And also, I don't think so. All the people that voted in the predictions group, Only some of them watch WWE, so they play on with who they know. But the final one is Male Superstar of the Year. So again, let me put up a background, play the final video, and let's get it announced. Somewhere here, there it is.
Hi, I'm Bentley, the Vigilante of Professional Wrestling, and here are your nominees for Male Superstar of the Year. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Gunther, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, Swerve Strickland, Jack Perry, and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do the did he? Fair enough. So yeah, L.A. Knight, won the US title at SummerSlam. I think he's looked, and I think he improved as champion and has looked decent ever since. Jack Perry lost the TNT title only just. He's not been seen since, but there you go. So Strickland had a good year, former AEW champion. He's still over. Damian Priest won. Was this year he won Money in the? Well, it was last year he won Money in the Bank.
Last year he won Money in the Bank.
Drew won it this year, didn't he? Yes, and cashed in the same night. Anyway, so yeah, Priest has had a good year, won the title, and I think he looked good ever since. His push has been continuous. Roman Reigns lost the title at Mania. Well, unfortunately, very 50-50 since coming back. Trick, two-time NXT champion. Gunther won the King of the Ring and the title, and then Cody obviously winning the title at Mania. So your winner is had one person going for Reigns, a couple of people going for Gunther, but it was an a unanimous vote for this man right here, and it was, of course, Cody Rhodes winning Male Superstar of the Year. Okay, yeah, he was the best out of a bad bunch, really, right there. But
I love how you just moved the goalpost for no fucking reason at all. Like that was that's what you call people. That's what you call moving the fucking goalpost, because he just did that for no fucking reason whatsoever. That was terrible. That was fucking bad. So I'm gonna do it the right fucking way. So yes, LA Knight had a great year, won the US title, carried that championship like a champion should. Jack Perry did okay with the TNT title. Swerve did a really good job with the AEW title. Trick, two-time NXT champion, but shout out to Trick for being in two different categories. That's a good shout out for him. Damian with accomplishing his goal, becoming the third World Heavyweight champion. And he carried that title very well until he ran to Gunther. Gunther has been doing a pretty good job with that title, though I think his title reign is a little weaker than Seth Rollins' reign, as well as Damian Priest's reign, and that could be down to the promos mostly. Roman has sat out most of 2024, because he's the champion and all, because he was champion when we began the new year, and he lost the title in 4 months into the new year, so he's mostly set.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Nope, sorry about that. I was trying to delete the video rather than play it. Sorry.
So Cody getting the Superstar of the Year award, I mean, it was a no-brainer, because what Cody has done with the title, first of all, the night that he won the title was so overly emotional. I mean, shout out to Samantha Irvin for that call. I wish that would have been a category, like coolest moment or something like that, because that was a really cool fucking moment. Like, it wasn't an oh my god moment, it was a cool ass moment. I remember being in my house and I like counting with the referee. When I counted at 3, I was like, oh snap! And not only that, but hearing her emotion as she's calling out what happened. Oh man, that was golden. So, and he's carried that. Despite your haterade for him, you can't sit here and lie and say that he hasn't carried that championship well. Because if you
He's done a decent
there we go.
job. But
There we go. Everybody,
I'm not being wowed.
hater.
I'm not being wowed by his stuff. I've been, oh wow, it's been okay.
So you tell me you was wild during Roman Reigns' reign?
3.5 years is incredible.
All right, there we go, y'all. Hater and writer. All right, yeah. All right, good job, everybody.
I was wowed how they made him look just totally unstoppable.
This guy,
and just like this unstoppable force that nobody could beat.
Unstoppable. No one could beat him. But
on the microphone,
the American fucking nightmare beat that man on the block. So him being Superstar of the Year makes sense. Good job,
it should have been. It should have been Hornswoggle. No. So there's the Golden Wrestling Awards, the end of the year awards. Probably do this again next year. Who'll be champion then? Who knows? Cody's probably will still be champion. Let's hope not, but I can see him. Oh, I played the wrong video there. I can see him losing it and then winning it back. What do you think?
You see Cody losing the title?
Well, he's not going to be champion forever, is he?
I didn't say that, but who will he lose to?
Drew, probably Drew, or
once again, if Cody gets drafted to Raw, I can see that happening. Well, actually, no, I won't see it happening, but I can imagine that happen.
Or The Rock, but probably not The Rock because he's gone after Mania. So
who cashed in Money in the Bank?
Drew on Drew during the Rollins and Priest match, and then Punk cost him.
Oh right, got it.
On the same night.
Why was that a blink and you miss it type of thing? Because I swear, I was like, dang, what happened to the men's Money in the Bank briefcase? And you just told me so.
Because it was so stupid. It was so stupid. It was part of a storyline, so I get that, but again, the suspension of disbelief. If I've got the briefcase, I'm waiting. I'm not catching in that night. I've got a whole year.
Right. Yeah, I would literally be pulling a Seth Rollins or a Damian Priest. I would just hold on to that thing. Or I would just do it in the most unpredictable manner. Like, let me just pick a random Raw, random SmackDown.
Yeah. Certainly not. I certainly want to announce it like Big E did, and they thought they would get more views, and they didn't. You're telling the champion you're going to catch in? How come the champion?
I mean,
and Lashley wasn't ready for it. He announced it on social media that day, and Lashley was like, "Okay."
Well, technically, well, Mr. Rob Van Dizam did the same thing to John Cena, who's like, "Listen, we gonna have a match at One Night Stand, bruh."
But at least that was different. At least that was a match, and you could have gone either way rather than here comes Big E. He just announced it a few hours later. But yeah.
But you gotta be. But it still is. So once again, since we're trying to do the whole disbelief thing, if I just had a match, right? Because I think Bobby had a match. If I had a match, and then I hear someone else's music, I'm tired from this match already. Someone's about to come down and I'm not even fully prepared. Yeah, I'm about to get cashed in on. Like, shit, it's about to go down. Like, I gotta try my best to defeat this person after I just got done with the match.
Or I would announce it and then not cash in. So then they never know when I'm cashing in. Say, I'm definitely coming after whoever, Cody or Gunther. I'm going after whoever, and then just not cash in. And then do it some other time.
It's smart to keep them on their toes. I think this is why Tiffany Stratton's way is actually kind of smart, because there's no, it's like, hey, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer, kind of things. And it's like, yeah, Tiff is close to Nia. That's why it's like unpredictable on when Tiff going to do it.
I like that they continue to build every week, build Tiffany at some point cashing in. And that's how I suppose it should be, but
they did the same thing with Seth
definitely
Rollins.
Not the same night.
They did the same thing with Seth Rollins when he kept, he was teasing it. They did the same thing with, who else they do this with? I know there was one other person they did it with. Well, Edge, one of his times around.
Edge was quite shocking. He cashed in New Year's Revolution 11 months. Was it 10 months after holding it?
Yeah,
something like that.
That was the first time we've ever seen something like that happen. Like, we never, we never knew what this was, and this was. I think that's the moment. And I know people were going off on a tangent. This is the moment the WWE landscape got bust wide open, right? In the terms of, like, you never know who's going to be champion, because up to that point, Edge was a good upper mid card act. Never someone you could think as a main player in WWE at all, right? He wasn't somebody you thought of. He was somebody that was like, nah, you're a former tag guy. You're a former Intercontinental champion. You're a former King of the Ring. Like, you don't need this title, man. And it's funny because after he got that title, the doors were wide open. That's why you got smaller guys like CM Punk, who's had both belts. Somebody like Jeff Hardy, which I ain't gonna hold you. I think when Jeff Hardy, the same way I felt when Cody won the title, it's the same way I felt about Jeff Hardy winning the title. I never thought I'd see the day that it would happen.
He should have held it for longer than a month, though. But
well, Jeff Hardy also had some personal problems. But just
he held the world.
He held the world title longer. But once again, the world title is a different prestige than the WWE title. Right, the WWE title's prestige goes all the way back down to Bruno Sammartino. The World Heavyweight title, to be fair, depending on who you ask, the lineage can go all the way back down to the NWA, or it could go back down to Triple H when Eric Bischoff gave him the World Heavyweight title. So depending on who you ask, that's what it is. I mean, that's why the World Heavyweight title is called the World Heavyweight title. It's not called the WWE World Heavyweight title. You know what I mean? You're the champion, yes. You're not. Are you the company's champion? No. You're just a world heavyweight champion. That's why the belt looks different. It doesn't have it has a W on it, but it's not the same as what Cody's, like, look at Cody's championship, look at Gunther's championship. Two totally different titles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
But yes, everybody like, subscribe, all the best for next year. And Marcus, it is over to you.
Ching ching, bling bling. It's always Ted over here.
That is right. Once again, like, subscribe, get this shared everywhere. Always remember, and I will actually see you guys just after midnight here in the UK. I'll do a quick New Year's Eve message. But until then, if wrestling is a game, excellence is the name, and excellence is Ricky Goldman.